Just wanted to say welcome to Toronto. It's a really exciting time for us in the city, and I think it's such a blessing to have the opportunity for our team, our city, our country to play in the NBA Finals. I want to use this opportunity to thank our ownership, Larry Tannenbaum and George Cope, Edward Rogers and Bell and Rogers. Has been very encouraging for us, and the support has been amazing. Lastly, our unbelievable fans, the support they've given us around the country. I think you can see the sentiment around everywhere. There's so much excitement, passion, energy that we're excited to get started. So welcome to Toronto.
Questions for Masai, please? We'll start with Michael Grange, who is to your right there.
Masai, Michael Grange from Sportsnet. When you were sitting in this building last July, could you have envisioned, or how clearly did you envision having this opportunity just, I guess, 11 months later to be speaking at an NBA Finals?
It's surreal, but I think when you put the team together, and we all dream of a championship, we all think about that, and I think the change was hard at the time, and but we knew the kind of player we were getting, and if we overcame and we dealt with all the issues that we felt that could come together, I think we were all positive about this kind of moment and all dreamt about it. The players have been unbelievable. The coaches have been remarkable. We've had remarkable leadership from Kawhi, Kyle, Marc Gasol, and Nick leading the way. This is what you put yourself in position, and our jobs is to try and create that team, try and create the atmosphere for them, the workplace for them to prepare, and there's been a lot of preparation, and they've done an incredible job.
To Tim, who's just to the right of.
Masai, Tim Reynolds with the AP.
Hi.
You spoke of Nick. I know the job is not done, of course, so it's unfair to ask you to assess before the season's complete, but the spot that he was put into, it's always awkward when you replace someone who's the reigning coach of the year, someone who you worked for. How would you say that he sort of navigated those choppy waters and got the team to this place? How would you sort of assess what he's done to this point?
To give Dwane Casey credit, he prepared us for this too. It's not something that started in 1 year. I don't know that a team can just start in 1 year. So I think I want to say that Dwane Casey and DeMar DeRozan are part of this. They are part of our journey and how far this has come. So I think Nick has done a great job. Just taking it from there and building his own identity and building a team that he wanted to coach in a certain way, and bringing up us to this moment. He's made the right adjustments, I think, and it's been a roller coaster sometimes, and we've had tough games. We've had really tough games. Sometimes in this game you need some luck here and there. We're a hard-working team, and I think Nick has that persona and that ethic that really translates to everybody and the whole organization as a whole.
Jeff, did you have one? Jeff Zillgett and he's on your right.
Jeff Zillgett, USA Today. Masai, just a little bit of a follow-up to Tim's question on Nick. He's had a Game 7 in his first playoffs, Eastern Conference Finals. And maybe if you could go a little deeper on what's impressed you about what he's done in the playoffs.
Sometimes, when you're dealing with pressure and these games coming every other day, and you thinking on the fly, thinking during the games, the adjustments to make. Being a first-year head coach, there's going to be an adjustment period, and I think he's done remarkably well, even using some of his past experiences. He talks about the D-League, he talks about Europe, he talks about mixing lineups and different players at different times with what we've gone through this year with trades and load management and injuries and all the different things. And Nick has just been one to never complain, never. It's always how does he adjust? How does he use what he has with the players? And to me, that's one thing that has really stood out with him, and he's done a remarkable job.
To Eric Kareen, who's in the third row beside Michael Grange.
Eric Kareen, The Athletic. Obviously, Kawhi's health was a story throughout the season and when you made the trade. Was there a point during this season that you thought, okay, he's in a really good place, we might get to see the very best he has to offer, or is that sort of progressed even throughout the playoffs that it became more certain that you'd be able to see that?
Honestly, as soon as we made the trade, I thought that, as soon as the guy was in our hands, to get a player like that, he made it clear that his health was a priority for him. It was a priority for us, and to see the progress and just his mindset when he came into the building and into training camp, the work he did in the summer, coming into training camp, and the work he's done all year. Kawhi is quiet, but he's relentless. I'll tell you, his work ethic is almost crazy how his regiment, taking care of his body and doing all the work. So with where there's preparation, I think you're confident, and when you see the preparation throughout the season, what this kind of player, or you feel what this kind of player is going to produce. And you don't wish this kind of injury on anybody, but you could tell with him, it was a priority to get back to the highest level.
6 rows back on your right, Masai.
Masai, Greg Brady from Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
Hey, Greg.
You don't have a draft lottery player on this team. You have the roster acquisition or composition that's really unusual. You've had to trade lottery picks to get where you need to go. Does it speak to how astutely the Raptors have drafted and how other organizations, the organizations that drafted Kawhi and Kyle and Marc Gasol, have drafted? It's incredibly unusual.
I give the credit to Bobby Webster, Dan Tolzman, Teresa, Keith, these guys that work, I think, tirelessly scouting these players and studying these players, evaluating them, and trying to see what kind of players fit with us. Our tone is set by Kyle Lowry, and I think that the way he plays, his attitude towards the game and winning. Because at the end of the day, I think sports is all about winning. And the mentality of Kyle really translates. The mentality of Kawhi, the mentality of Danny Green, of Marc Gasol. These guys are Serge Ibaka. They are built a certain way, and we do our best to study. And you hope when these players are put together that the chemistry comes together. But I think it starts from the leaders, and our job is to go and find these type of players. And I think our player personnel and scouting department do an unbelievable job.
We'll go to Sky Sports, who's at the back on your left, Masai.
Hi, Masai. How you doing? JD from Sky Sports UK. When I kind of look at your career, you're born to African parents. You're born in England. Your head coach as well, obviously, is coveted around the world in terms of a basketball savant. And 2 of your stars also come from Africa. Has it always been in your foresight to kind of make the Raptors a global NBA team?
I think being It says a lot that the first NBA Finals outside America is being played here. Maybe one day we'll be real world champions or something. But this is what we dream of. Every day you come to work, this is it, and it's overwhelming because you think. When I look at all the international players we have on our team, and from Mark and even our staff, the people on our staff, the backgrounds, it's really brought us together. And I think it says so much because that's how our city is, that's how the country is, that we can all relate to the multicultural or the diversity of Toronto and Canada. And that's how our team is. They talk in different languages on defense. They talk in different languages in the locker room, and it's like that in our organization. And being international myself and being from Africa, I'm proud of that.
Standing up to your right, Masai, at the back.
Hi, Kareth Burke, NBC Sports Bay Area. When your team arrived at the finals, you said Kawhi Leonard is the best player in the league. From the Warriors' perspective, Steve Kerr said KD is the most skilled player in the league, and I understand teams love their guys. But what is the distinction in your mind that makes Kawhi the best?
I don't know that any of those people will argue with me that he's the best two-way player in the NBA. And when we talk about basketball, we're talking about playing on both ends. And I feel that if we put him on both ends of the court, he has the ability to be the best player in the league. And that's where it came from.
So we're going to Tim Bontemps, who's in the middle, Coach.
Hey, Masai. You mentioned Kyle a few times and his leadership with this team. Obviously, you guys have been through a lot the last several years. I was just curious, what have you seen from him in terms of his evolution, both on and off the court, and how has that translated to the ways he has helped lead you guys to the finals this year?
There's something about that guy that I just believe in. It's incredible. We've been through so much, and he's a winner. There's no other way to put it. He's a winner. He's been hit upside the head from every different angle in the world, whether it's personal, everything, and he survives it. But every day he comes to win. Doesn't matter what mood he's in. He comes to win, and. I saw that one day playing in the gym here when this was still our practice facility, and nobody knew I was watching that day. It's like 4 or 5 years ago, and they were playing pickup basketball, and the way he just competed without anybody being in the gym. There was just 5-on-5 and a couple coaches in there. It was preseason, and he played his ass off, and that's just how he is, and he leads us, I think, in the right way. And yes, we've gone through, we've had our ups and downs, but I think this year there was a really good moment where we sat down and we really talked about what we wanted to accomplish. And it was a tough conversation, but these are conversations that you have to have. I did understand how Kyle felt when obviously we made the trade, and it was tough. DeMar's his best friend. I do understand that completely. And that's the toughest part of the business that we all talk about. But in terms of Kyle, I've seen him grow. I've seen him grow as a person, as a leader on our team. And it can only get better from here.
To Jared Greenberg, who's standing up to your left, Masai.
Masai, Jared Greenberg, NBA TV. A recent online survey concluded that all but 3 of the U.S. states are rooting for the Raptors to win the championship this year. Mm-hmm. For a fan base that has built its bones on us against the world, how does it feel now to be playing for a title knowing that you're the fans' choice to win?
It feels good. We don't want to. I don't know if it's underdog. We just feel like we've prepared well to be here. And you go through that grind. It's very it's very flattering, you know, for us as a team, as an organization. I know our players would love that, that we get that support. But these guys have prepared, to be honest, and we've been trying to prepare for this moment to get here. And it's been a grind, you know. We get mocked, we get people talk about us in different ways, but for us, that's the growth. That's the thing. Those are the things that we have to go through. But I can tell you, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy here tomorrow. It's gonna be crazy here on Sunday. It's gonna be crazy here for a few days because that's the mentality of our fan base, and we know it's across the world. That's something special about here. We can reach the world easy from here, from Canada, and we're happy to be the global team that represents the NBA.
Sitting down, Masai, on the left.
Hi, Adrian Gober with City TV here in Toronto. Masai, you kind of touched on it there a little bit in your opening remarks as well. What do you feel it means, not just for the Raptors, but the city of Toronto, to have the global spotlight on our city and perhaps putting to rest some of the misconceptions about Toronto and basketball in this country?
Yeah, we heard all of it. Again, I say we have to grow to get to this moment, you know, and it's such an incredible city, sports city, whether you're talking about us or the Leafs or the Blue Jays or TFC. It's a great sports city, and there's room for everybody. It's incredible how diverse it is. And we're going to continue to grow this and live this in this city. You see the fans, and wherever you go, whether it's a restaurant, everywhere, the support has been, I think, amazing for us. And I said it when I came here. I know this city will win. And it's not me or anybody. There's something about it here, and sports. It comes around. Many cities will win, you know, and Toronto will win too.
So we're going to go to Josh Lewinberg, Masai, who's...
Josh Lewinberg, TSN. Masai, you brought Pascal in with the 27th pick. You obviously saw something in him then, but could you have imagined him developing into the player he is today as quickly as he has, and how big has that been in terms of getting you guys here this year?
I'll tell you, when I saw him in Basketball Without Borders, no. We all want to act like we know everything, but we don't. That guy has been incredible, and I think his progress you've seen even during the year. Pascal, I think, should have been an all-star. He wasn't an all-star. At all-star, he elevated. After all-star, he elevated. And was there a chip on his shoulder? During the playoffs, everybody said he's young, new player in the NBA. He elevated even more. He's been an unbelievable revelation for us. But I know Pascal, and we've had these moments of talk, and he specifically said to me a couple years ago that he doesn't want to be one of those African players that's labeled, whether it's a shot blocker or a defender or rebounder or he runs. He wants to be a star. He wants to be a versatile player in this league, and he wants to be able to do it all. And he's put the work into it. We all used to hold our breaths when he took a three-point shot. We all used to hold our breath sometimes when he went on the fast break, and now we can't wait till he does that. Again, it's preparation, it's practice, it's work ethic, it's that mindset of winning, and I think he has that mindset too.
To just down from where Josh is to the left there.
Masai, Joe Varden from The Athletic. You mentioned something earlier about difficult conversations, and one of the storylines surrounding your team all year has been what will happen with Kawhi Leonard in the future. When was the last time you discussed his future with him, and how have you, if you have, made the case to him that the Raptors is where he should be long term?
I said it from day one, we're going to be us. You know, I think Kawhi Leonard is a superstar, and we're going to treat him like a superstar, but we're also going to do all the natural things that I think will help us get to that level to convince Kawhi that this is the place for him. And the future conversations I've had with Kawhi are about the Golden State Warriors, and that's his mindset. His mindset is what is at hand right now. What's the job right now? And the job right now is to beat the Golden State Warriors. I think when he came here, he made it clear he wanted to be healthy. He wants to play on a good team that will compete. And I think kudos to Alex McKechnie and Kawhi's team. I think they've worked together to get him slowly back to playing at this level after playing only 9 games last year. I think when he sees with the city, the fan base, basketball, I think coaching, everything, almost has to come together. And I think there was an incredible moment in Game 7 with that shot. All these things, I think, naturally they have to come together. And I think we're blessed here in Toronto that it's slowly coming together for us. But the trust, you hope to build that trust where at the end of the day, we know that there are 2 tough moments in sports, in the job that we do, that make it very, very difficult. And that's trading a player and when a player leaves in free agency. We all have to prepare ourselves for everything. And I think we've built this trust in a way that whatever it is, I think we would have prepared ourselves.
We're going to do 2 more questions. We'll go to Vince, who's sitting down on your right, Masai, halfway back there.
Hi, Vince.
Hi, Vince Ellis, Detroit Free Press. Aside for the Kawhi Leonard acquisition, is there anything else that you take away from your past playoff disappointments, that how you addressed or how you went about building your current roster?
Yes, we needed to. I think we needed to figure out a way where we played sometimes a little smarter, sometimes the way we defended, sometimes the way we adjusted to games, sometimes our toughness, sometimes just going through those games, having those sweeps or those defeats. That teaches you, I think. Our team maybe, hopefully, were a little bit more versatile. I think we saw when we played Orlando or we played a big team like the Sixers, I think we were able to compete with them. It was a tough series, but we were able to compete. Same thing with Milwaukee. And I think Nick is able to make adjustments in terms of the personnel we have. And all these things, there's no knock here on the past, honestly, because we were part of the past. So we're part of that defeat too. We're part of the knock. So we just have to learn from it. That's what I think good organizations should do. And we learned from that, and we find ourselves here, and there'll be more learning moments, I think. But we play sports to win. That's why we play the game, is to win. And that's what we want to do here, is to win.
So the last question is from Kayla Gray, who's at the very back, Masai.
Hi, Masai. Kayla Gray, TSN.
Hi.
You talk about the timeline. At the start of the season, obviously, you're losing a DeMar DeRozan, gaining Kawhi Leonard. Was there any point in the season where things started to click for you guys, maybe facing DeMar, maybe Kawhi returning to the Spurs, or that game against the Spurs? Was there any point where things started to feel right in terms of buy-in and that trust that you talked about?
I think it's different moments for different people, I think, on the team. It's hard. I'm not big on the trade deadline. I think people know here I like development, I like growth, and we did try a couple years ago. We made a couple moves at the trade deadline, and it didn't work. So sometimes you take your chances. Sometimes these are the things that you have to do. For me, I don't know that there's any specific moment that I felt that it clicked, because every day you're trying to work. Every day you're trying to build. Every day you're trying to prepare for moments like this. So I don't know that there's one particular moment, but it's a season and you have your ups and downs, and hopefully we've prepared ourselves the right way.